Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's TPM5 here, back again with another NBA video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about Demarcus Cousins and why he isn't in the league, and talk about the chances of him making a return. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, as you guys may know, Demarcus Cousins was the 5th pick of the 2010 NBA draft, taken out of Kentucky. He's been an All-Star 4 times from 2015 to 2018, all consecutive, and was an All-NBA second team player in 2015 and 2016. Now, just before I touch into his basketball abilities, he's probably one of the most, misunderstood or controversial players in terms of fans. He, can go from yelling at fans in the tunnel before games to donating 1 million of his salary before the 2013-14 season when he received his extension. He's a very misunderstood player, and maybe I guess his personality and that kind of stuff could be a reason why he isn't in the league right now. But obviously, you know, if I was a GM, I'd take a pretty strong look at him, given that he proved himself in that bench role, with LA and Houston particularly. He was pretty handy for the Clippers, averaging 7.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1 assist, and I want to say 20 minutes a night. He was very convenient for them to use, and was a luxury for them to have someone like that coming off of the bench, and shooting career high shooting splits, 54 from the field and 42 from three, obviously on way less of volume than you'd like. Now, just as you guys see, I'd heavily appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me, and I would appreciate any bit of support I could get from you guys. So comment as well which team you think should pick him up, and let's continue. Now, his stats of late, a bit of a far cry from his 20 and 10 days, over the course of his career, but he still can play a role for some teams. Now, just quickly gonna look back at the sequence of events that brought him to this point. In 2017-18, he suffered a torn Achilles. Then, with the Warriors, he signed for them, which was a controversial move. However, on December 10th of 2018, he suffered, uh, you know, another Achilles injury with the same left Achilles as before, and then he signed with the Lakers and ended up, getting hurt in a pickup game. Didn't play a single game for them, and had, his name engraved on the championship rings, which was a pretty classy touch from the Lakers. And then he's obviously was in Houston with his good friend John Wall. Got waived, told to explore other options, and then signed multiple 10-day deals with the Clippers, leading us to the point where he averaged 8, 4.5 points, and 1 assist, as I'd said before. Now, some teams could pick him up. I think that it'd be ironic if the Lakers were to bring him back, but I think that the Hawks are a team that could look to bring him back, because you have guys like Gorgie Deng who are, guaranteed play guys that will play for them. But then you have guys like Jahlil Okafor and Johnny Hamilton in the center, in the rotation as centers, who aren't particularly making the most positive impression. And it looks likely that the latter two, Okafor and Hamilton, are going to be, on the outer, as they're on non-guaranteed deals. And rookie Jalen Johnson has been getting the bulk of the minutes over those two. And it would be a pretty nice fit for them to get someone in that can kind of shoot the ball and fit in with what they do there. I'm not reading too much into that. Now, Demarcus Cousins did hint at a Sacramento return, as he made this tweet basically with himself in a cartoonish type of form with that purple 15 Kings jersey on. It would be a great, place for him to go back to, as he has such a connection with that city and the fans, and then also he could be a very positive influence on that roster with a lot of those young guys coming up. And it's someone, I guess, has been there and done that with that team, not really getting much success, but he does know what it takes to play well. It's a bit of a stretch. It hasn't happened. He did that in September, so about a month ago. But then teams like Brooklyn could always do with a center if they have any injuries as well, and he would fit right in. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the scenarios where he'd be really happy to go somewhere where he can pick up a ring and just play his role in obviously limited minutes. Now, New York always, the New York Knicks are always in the market for a star, and given they've become more relevant in the eyes of the league, bringing in DeMarcus Cousins would be a big coup, I guess, in terms of PR. He'd be a big signing for them, and I think that somehow New York has become a bit of place where careers can recover. Rose comes to mind. And depending on Kemba as well, this season he's in a spot where he can really perform. So that's another interesting piece. And the final NBA team I'll be bringing up is the Indiana Pacers. Now this all depends on how they'd go in terms of that Miles Turner versus Sabonis thing. Now there's rumors obviously consistently with those two that one will get traded. If one gets traded, I think that Demarcus Cousins can play some minutes off of the bench to directly add shooting and some height in the paint, as he is a pretty good rebounder despite his lack of defensive prowess. Now, to put this into context, DeMarcus Cousins during his peak year, as someone would consider in 2016-17, had a defensive rating of 104.6. Now compare that with Enes Kanter, who last season had a rating of 112.8, who's a notoriously bad defender. Now, it doesn't paint the best picture for DeMarcus Cousins, but obviously defensive rating is a collective team, I guess, effort as well, and I'm not sure too familiar with the Pelicans around 5 years ago. But that does bring me to the end of the video. I really want to see him come back, as it would be one of the biggest what ifs if he wasn't able to. But that is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Also, subscribe, and peace out. Catch you next time.